So we'd like to welcome everybody to this Campus Nation broadcast. We're broadcasting live from Jamestown, Ohio. The Greeneview Rams are taking on the West Liberty-Salem Tigers. And let's see if I can put that up there so we can see that. The Sun field is intense, as you might well expect, particularly since we are on the west side of the stadium. I mean, we're looking into the west side of the stadium as far as the sun, so the sunscreen is intense, and thus it makes it very difficult for us to see a lot of the digital stuff, the switcher, the things like that, and so hopefully we will get that all eventually taken care of as we get into our broadcast. Let's see if we can get some of this stuff cleared, and I can get... Anyway, Greeneview comes into the game, and I believe they have an even record 1-1. I think that this is week 3. We'll try to keep up with scores. I don't have the Tigers record here on the sheet. And to be perfectly honest with you, now Dean is going to handle the camera activities, and we're just going with a single camera because we are understaffed tremendously. Normally we would have a crew, and that would involve play-by-play and also the color announcer, and sometimes I'll do color when Joe Davis, but Joe Davis is on vacation. We thought perhaps Tony Mancuso would be coming in from Columbus, so unless he's his usual whenever he gets here, I don't think Tony will be here tonight. We attempted to set up some extra equipment so that we had a great Wi-Fi stream, but the problem is that the equipment that we use is commercial equipment, and it's used by schools, and these schools use that same 5 gigahertz, and I don't want to get too complicated, but this 5 gigahertz equipment, and so the router there in the press box is limited as to how many connections can connect to it, and they've got a slew of connections. I think some of them are West Liberty-Salem, but probably some of them are also Greeneview. And if you've seen these cameras that the schools have installed, these cameras like the huddle cams and things like that, and this school does have a huddle cam. The huddle cams operate on the same bandwidth, and once again, they use that same commercial-grade equipment as far as their operations. So bear with us. We will attempt to get you as much as we can as far as pictures of the game and descriptions. We will probably we'll be looking, and I've got the other microphone on. We will be looking hopefully to use the sound from the press box announcer today. He'll keep you up. I'll try to keep once again, as the sun fades, although the scoreboard is fairly reasonable for me to read, try to keep up obviously I'll keep the score up. I'll try to keep the clock up so that everything is as up to date as we can get it, and we'll see if we're able to stay with everything. But once again, please have patience. This is a little more trying than our average setup, and so we are attempting to make the best that we can under the circumstances to bring you this great game. And just to give you an example, yesterday actually afternoon, I had to leave to head to Cleveland to Hiram because that's where our broadcast was for Hiram football, and that broadcast concluded at probably 10 or 10:30. So once again, what I had to do after that was I had to head back here. Got in it and got to bed probably at about 3 a.m. this morning. So once again, in trying to trying to get everything set up and working properly with this game. And believe it or not, after this game concludes, I go back to the studio, pack everything up, get it ready for tomorrow, because we have a game with Mount Union and Defiance. That's a big game. Mount Union being one of the perennial teams that is always a powerhouse in national football. And it's not any different this year. I think they're ranked 3rd or 4th or something like that. So if you can't tell, the West Liberty-Salem team is streaming onto the field, and you can imagine we're on the visitor side, and the fans are going crazy on this side of the press box. Very raucous. Well, that's going to work, isn't it? You can tell we're right in the middle of the You can see by the sun field that because, once again, the camera's looking into that same sun that we have, it's very difficult, and hopefully Dean will be able to, as best he can, at least until the sun goes down a little, the temperature goes down a little, it's intensely hot. It's a good thing I did not I was going to wear a sweater, but then I got to seeing that the temperatures were going to be hotter than they were. Last night it wasn't bad, but and the press box that we were in last night was air conditioned. It's a college campus press box. They've got a fairly nice facility there at Hiram. And of course, when you come to a small community like Jamestown and you're trying to do a broadcast here, there's a lot of other things that you have to contend with. And that is the case here in Jamestown at Greeneview. But we're just happy to be able to bring you the football game, and we will, like I said, we'll try as much as possible to have the identification of the players, but I think that hopefully we'll have all that information conveyed to you by the announcer from the press box. So we'll just let you listen to that. I might add some commentary, but the main thing that I'm here for is to make sure that I can switch, although there's not a lot to being switched other than graphics. There's no other cameras that we're operating today. And once again, the reason that we're not is we are in a limited bandwidth situation. We don't want to eat our bandwidth up connecting multiple cameras. We want to get the main camera, which you see on the feed here, with all the information to you. And that is the essential. All right, now we've got our Campus Nation logo up there. I think we're good to go. Maybe. Maybe not. Let me get the logo back up there. Once again, trying to deal with the... there we go. Now we got everything. We've got the score bug. And there's 12 minutes on the clock. Like I said, I'll try to keep the clock as consistent as possible so that you, if the game is very close, it's always essential to know how much time is remaining in the quarters. And as I said, tomorrow we have Mount Union football. Mount Union will travel to Defiance, and we'll be at Defiance tomorrow with that college game. So once again, keep that in mind and tune into Campus Nation. So that was interesting. Greeneview kicked off. They sort of squib kicked it. And number 10 for West Liberty-Salem, that would be Jacob Evans. He's a junior, and he was the hands man that grabbed the kick I don't know whether that was purposeful or whether that was just a bad kick, but they're going to start, it looks like, at about the 30-yard line, heading south. I guess that's south. Good pickup. That's a first down. Number 40, which I don't have him on my West Liberty-Salem football roster, so I don't know whether he's changed jerseys but if the jersey number doesn't match a number on a roster, it's kind of hard for me to identify the individual. Maybe the other side. All right, so they're starting once again, 1st and 10 from the West Liberty-Salem Tigers 40-yard line. They're holding up play so that there can be some substitutions for the Rams. Ball snapped and is handed off to the running back, number 7. Nice pickup for Josh Wilcoxon, I believe is his name. Once again, a junior running back for West Liberty-Salem. Another nice pickup. It looks like it's about a second and maybe 3 or maybe 4 yards. I guess I better start the timer and run it down. So we lost, it wasn't that we lost power, we actually overheated because once again this sun is so intense that it overheated our iPad switcher, and so we had to restart everything. So we are back. I don't know whether we're streaming on YouTube, and the only reason I say that is I don't know whether it will reconnect without, let me see if I can pull up the stream. Well, we are recording this, so if we have to, we'll upload it. Hopefully, with the sun going down, we'll be in a little better situation. So West Liberty scored a touchdown. Let me update the score. 7-0, the Tigers over the Rams. And I'm going to take a break here and check the stream.
50, Sam Nock on the kickoff for the Tigers. Second and 10 for the Rams. Number 5, Alex Holman on the run for the Rams. Moves the flags. First and 10 for the Rams at the Ram 37. Pass interference against the Tigers. It will be a first and 10 for the Rams on the Tiger 48-yard line. Number 42, Cooper Payton on the run for the Rams. Tackle by number 76, Mark Baird for the Tigers. Second and 4 on the 43-yard line of the Tigers.
Defense attack! Get that ball back! Defense attack! Get that ball back! Defense attack! Get that ball back!
Number 5, Alex Holman's pass completed. Number 6, Eli Walker. Tackle by number 21, Gabe McGill for the Tigers. First and 10 for the Rams on the Tiger 35-yard line. Number 6, Eli Walker. Tackle for the Tigers, number 10, Jacob Evans. Second and 5 for the Rams at the West Liberty-Salem 30-yard line. 8. For the Rams on the West Liberty-Salem 39-yard line. Walker's punt into the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 for the Tigers on their own 20-yard line. For the Rams. Second and 4 on the Tiger 26-yard line. Gave McGill on the run for the Tigers. Number 7, Josh Wilcoxon on the run for the Tigers. Brought down by number 42, Cooper Pate for the Rams. 2nd and 7. On the Ram 11-yard line.
Let's go, Tigers! Yeah, let's go, Tigers! S-C-O-R-E, brace that score! S-C-O-R-E, brace that score! S-C-O-R-E, brace that score! S-C-O-R-E, brace that score!
21, Gabe McGill on the run for the Tigers. Brought down by number 2, Joey G. Nobley for the Rams. 3rd and 4 on the 7-yard line for the Tigers. Number 8, Miles Hotstepler on the run for the Tigers. Brought down by number 9, Chase Walker, number 52, Blake Gibbons for the Rams. 1st and goal on the 4-yard line of the Rams.
Beat those Rams! Here we go! Tigers! Beat those Rams! Here we go! Tigers! Beat those Rams! Here we go! Tigers! Beat those Rams! Yeah, let's go, Tigers!
Number 21, Gabe McGill on the run for the Tigers. Brought down on the 1-yard line by number 52, Blake Gibbons, and 72, Gavin Henry for the Rams. 2nd and goal. Chase Walker, brought down by number 10, Jacob Evans and number 26, J.J. Johnson for the Tigers. First and 10 for the Rams on their own 25-yard line. Second and 4 for the Rams on their own 31-yard line. In the first quarter.
All right, we are back. The heat actually overheated some of the equipment. We had to reset the equipment. We're now in the second quarter, and West Liberty-Salem, the Tigers lead 14-0 over the Rams. This is a recorded stream that we're making. When the heat affected the equipment, we lost contact with our content delivery network, YouTube. Excuse me. When you lose that connection, the stream that was already originally set up, you lose. So all that's up there, if there's anything at all, is just a few seconds or a few minutes of the game. So we are going ahead and recording the game and try to give you as much of the action as we can, and we will upload this tonight. You learn from your mistakes, and the biggest thing here is we've got a couple problems with bandwidth, or at least with interference from other 5G equipment, like the scouting equipment that they have here, and also the heat. When it's warm like this, and when the equipment is sitting close to the window, it tends to heat up, and that's when it shuts down for emergency. Great run by number 5. That would be Alec Orney. I think Alex is probably, maybe he's related to the barbecue people, right? I don't know. But anyway, fantastic run. He picked up a chunk of change there, and it is... It looks like it is down first and 10 from the 5-yard line. Great job. Got to adjust the clock. We're going to try to run the clock accurately. Sometimes that is difficult. 10:44 remaining, and I've got to change the actual. I'll have to edit and change the properties on. This is the second. Not much pickup there. He's second and goal, second on the 2-yard line.
Let's go, defense!
10:20 remaining in the second quarter. Greeneview's knocking at the door of West Liberty. We'll see if they can punch it in. And it looks like he got in. They are signifying a Ram touchdown. Let's give Greeneview 6 points there. Alec Horney, number 5, he punched it in for the touchdown, and now looks like number 2, Joey Grenoble, is going to attempt the extra point. It's up, and it's off to the right, so no good. So once again, in the second quarter, the score is West Liberty-Salem 14 and Greeneview 6.
West Lib cheerleaders, I'm going to announce you right now.
I'm going to put this up on the board here. See if we can pick up the West Liberty cheerleaders. We've got a great crowd. Both sides are absolutely packed. Obviously, the stadium is smaller than most, but for the facilities here, they are being well utilized. Home field packed, visitor side packed. There's not an available seat in the house. In fact, Dean probably has people snuggled up to either side of him as he's giving you as good a picture as he possibly can. And there's the sun, as you can see in the sun field.
Kicking off. 5-21 back for the Tigers.
So Ginobili is kicking off. Uh-oh. Doesn't look like they're going to catch this Tiger here. Gabe McGill, number 21, he takes it to the house. An incredible run by Gabe.
Let's go, Tigers!
So waiting for the extra point. The score is 20-6. West Liberty over Greeneview. I'll turn that volume on that down just a little so we don't have quite the background noise. Rick Phillips with Dean Thompson. We're just a two-man crew here today. Joe Davis in South Carolina visiting relatives. We tried 3 or 4 different people to get them in here to at least give us some play-by-play so that I could work the equipment a little better. And that's contributed to some of the problem. We're just short crew. Hard to get good people, isn't it? Extra point good. Tigers 21, Rams 6. This is CampusNation.com, the Internet Sports Authority. And this is the first time, actually, that we have been here. I looked this up. This is the first time that we have been here since about 2015. We were here with the departed Lee Hindy of WALH. I was here with Lee, and we did a Greeneview East Clinton football game, I believe, back then. And I think it might have been that it was strictly audio. It was not audio and video. So this is the first time that we've made this return. Now we've got a full schedule of things that we're going to be doing here. We're going to be doing most of the home games. I think we skipped one of the home games, but we are adding a game at the Rough Riders. So we're going to be heading north for Greeneview when they visit up there, and we'll bring that away game. We were given confirmation by their AD that we can do that. Looks like there's a penalty flag. Could be a... Looked like that was Jet Daniels. I believe number 65. Once again, looking into the sun, sometimes it's hard. Although the unis for both these teams are excellent as far as being able to pick up the numbers. And so many times you'll get some teams where the numbers don't stand out as well. That is the not the problem here with either of these teams' unis. Number 12 takes the ball, gets absolutely nothing. He's brought down by Josh Stidham, or Stidham. So Rhett Hickman did not really pick up much in the way of any yardage. It was more lateral yardage, as the board indicates. Now it says 1st and 10, but it should be at least 2nd and 10. Ball's on the 34-yard line, 34-yard line of the Rams. Number 12, once again, Rhett Hickman. There's a 3rd and 8 now. Get the clock back up to date.
Drop the ball, Lawrence.
Stretch trying to get that first down. He was far from it. Alec Horney again, number 5 for the Rams. It's like the scoreboard's having its own problems. Maybe it's the heat with the scoreboard. It's glitching.
Drop the ball.
It's mainly the score for West Liberty-Salem. It's switching from 21 points to 80-some points. So, fortunately, we're not the only one with these glitches that are happening. The ball is kicked down to the Tigers, just shy of the Tigers' 30-yard line, where they will start 1st and 10. 7:18 remaining in the second quarter. Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the Internet Sports Authority. We're starting to sort of get things. And this is a recorded broadcast. We are not broadcasting live simply because we did have that heating problem facing the sun, and it's affecting a lot of things, including, like I said, right now, West Liberty is shown to have 88 points, and it's going back and forth between 88 and 21. I don't know if that's exactly the heat, but Nice run. Up to the 35-yard line.
Tigers, tackled by number 6, Eli Walker for the Rams. 2nd and 5 for the Tigers at their own 35-yard line.
Looked like Peyton Hall, number 17, I think he was the ball carrier. So, from the 35-yard line of West Liberty, they are proceeding with about 6:44 remaining in this half. Ball's handed off, really maybe picked up a yard at most. Yeah, it was a half a yard. So it looks like it's going to be a 3rd and probably a long 4, probably I would say almost closer to 5, but a long 4 for the Tigers. Rick Phillips with Dean Thompson here. This is a pass, and it's missed. Drilled it into the ground. The intended receiver for West Liberty, Jacob Griffith, number 5. Didn't really get much of an opportunity to go over things here, but Ashley Pearson is the head coach of Greeneview, and we've got the head coach of the varsity coach of, let me make sure that, no, that's the cheerleaders coach. Let me make sure I've got the head coach correct. Head coach is Ryan Haynes. And Mark Reinhardt is our athletic director. He's been very good helping us with everything that we needed in order to get things set up here. And we'll be better, believe me, the next home game that we are going to do, because once again, we know now some of the things to expect. It was really not possible to come out and do much of what we call a site survey prior to this game this week, and part of that reason was we were doing interviews with college coaches for the college games that we had coming up. We had other things that we were working on in the studio. But anyway, we have more of an idea now. We do have more of an idea as far as we have enough bandwidth to broadcast the games. That shouldn't be an issue in the future. There was some concern with that. We brought an extra piece of equipment, which, to be honest with you, is not functioning simply because that extra piece of equipment is fighting with all the other similar professional equipment that the the high school scouting crews are using. The technology is more of a commercial technology, but as we use commercial technology, so do these schools when it comes to their coaching, and they have to be able to connect to the huddle cams and to get the video uploaded to Huddle for the purposes of other teams being able to scout them as well. But today, a lot of schools are utilizing the Huddle cameras to actually present the game, and what that leaves out simply is that the human factor as far as the broadcasters. And in this case, if you don't have broadcasters like we're at a loss tonight for, I guess it's one of the many problems that that you could face. It looks like there's a penalty. The penalty is assessed against Greeneview. We'll see if we can get some indication. So it's going to be. The ball looks like it's on the 15-yard line. And Dan McGill is the head coach, by the way, of the Tigers. This is a pass, and it looks like it was caught. They are marking it as a completion. Once again to Horney. And that will bring up a second. And let's see what the scoreboard says, because they have a much better vantage point because they're not looking into the sun. It looks like it's just short of the 20-yard line. So it's 2nd and 6. The ball's on the 19. And the scoreboard looks like it's settled down a little. The ball's picked off. So the pass is picked off by Jacob Evans, number 10 it looks like, or maybe the tackle was made. Let me see here. Nope, it was not an interception, it was simply a good tackle. So we're up to 3rd and 6. Let's see if I can catch up the scoreboard timer. I have half a mind of turning it off in the second half simply because we don't have enough manpower. We had a great young man last night that worked with us on the college campus that helped us with some of the switching and that, and it was very easy to pull that game off. You can see it on Campus Nation. And we'll have that same type of broadcast up and operating from Jamestown on our next time in. Like I said, we live and we learn. We have learned now some of the things as far as access and Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff, and that'll help us as far as doing future broadcasts from here. And like I said, it was 2015 when we did our last broadcast, and that was really in the Stone Age. So that was Chase Walker, number 9. And it is a 2nd and basically 10 for the Rams. One of the few stadiums probably left in high school football. Well, not maybe one of the few, but there aren't a lot of high school football stadiums that have grass. East Clinton has grass, but I kind of, in some ways, prefer the grass to the turf. The turf looks nice, but if you're a player and you think about injuries and things like that, unless the field is in really bad condition, which this field looks like it's in really good condition, turf obviously gives you an even bounce and that kind of thing, but some of football's, those irregular bounces and playing on that grass just seems to be more natural, I guess, on the natural turf. So that is a pass, and it looks like trying to fight for a first down. It was a 2nd and 14, and picked up the first down. Yep, they're moving the chains. So the ball is just over the 35, probably 37 yard line. So picked up almost exactly 36-yard line, what they needed. It's a 1st and 10. A run play. Oh, the ball is loose. It is squirted out, and it looks like the Tigers have recovered. They're indicating they think they've recovered. Yes, they are indicating that it's the Tigers' ball. So the Rams were really starting to put together a nice drive, and they had some rhythm going and everything else, and lost the handle on the pigskin, and so it's going back the other way. As we were saying about our Greeneview schedule, we'll be doing all of Greeneview's games and also an away game with West Jefferson Rough Riders. Well, there'll be one game here at home, and I'll have to look. I don't know if it was a Greenan game that we won't be doing because of another conflict, but and sometimes it's very difficult, but it's nice because the Miami Trace schedule and the Greeneview schedule kind of worked out where one was away, the other was home. We were able to cover both those teams. It's a nice run. That is Miles Hosletter. He is a senior. He also is a quarterback, and quarterbacking for this Tiger team here.
At the Ram 39-yard line.
So they are at Greeneview's 39-yard line and driving. That turnover that resulted in the ball going the other way, kind of costly for Greeneview. They had a great drive going. So we'll see if West Liberty-Salem can capitalize on that miscue. Ball's away, and it is missed. So that pass, the attempt was Miles Hosletter. His attempt was sort of errant, went into the ground, and resulted in a set the clock. Scoreboard starting to get wonky again. Theirs, not ours. He breaks out of the pack. What an incredible run by number 21. Gabe McGill looked like he was down. There was a huge group of players, and he emerged from that group and took it to the house. So we now have to add 6 more points. West Liberty-Salem Tigers 27, Greeneview Rams 6. West Liberty right now, they're in the driver's seat. They're attempting the point after now. And it's good. 28-6, still in the first half of play with 1:29 remaining in this first half. So we'll take her up to 1:29. It's not really critical that, and we didn't last year have a clock, so trying to do the switching, trying to do the clock, trying to keep up with everything is a little difficult for one individual in the booth, which is what I'm currently doing. Not asking for any pity, but Dean's doing a good job on the camera, and now that the sun has receded behind the home stands, it's not as hard as far as it's not overheating any equipment, and it's easier for everybody to see. And I'm sure the West Liberty-Salem Tiger fans are happy that they're not having to fight that sun as well, watching the game here. One of the disadvantages of the schools that have their football fields running north and south, because obviously with a north and south football field, someone sits on the west side looking at the east, and someone sits on the east side looking west, and typically they always have the home side so they don't have to look into the sun. Go figure, right? There's the kick. Number 9 back to receive. He's made a couple cuts. Looks like he's back up to about the 45-yard line. That's Chase Walker. Chase with a good run back, good pickup. It's going to be 1st and 10 with the ball on. Let me see where they spot it. Looks like 44-yard line of Greeneview. So that's where the Rams will proceed. So after the mistake, the turnover, and the 7 points by West Liberty-Salem, Greeneview back trying to put some points on the board, and it's tipped, and it's picked off again. This is a great tip by number 23, and he's taking it back to the house. And that was Taryn Longwood. Taryn is a wide receiver, and he is a lineman. Number 11 for the Tigers, and that was nice. So that gives West Liberty, that gives them 34 until we wait for the extra point. Ah, they call time. Looks like that's Gideon Cole, who must be doing the point afters for Tigers. if I read his jersey correctly. Number 88, he is a junior. Set again, and this is muffed. So the distraction, I guess you could say, cost them the extra point, but the Rams only have 6, so this sort of evens things up as far as if you're making or attempting to come back. So 1 minute, 12 seconds remaining in this half. You're watching Campus Nation. This is the recorded version. The live broadcast was interrupted by a piece of equipment that overheated that was in the sun here in the visitors press box. And so rather than try to reset up a stream, which is not the easiest thing to do when you're remote, and we usually do our setups sometimes even days ahead of time. So we'll have the kickoff here. There's a flag. Once again, that's Chase Walker. So it looks like the penalty might be on Greeneview. See where they walk it off, and we'll figure it off. Didn't really get an indication of what the penalty was, but they're walking off 15, so it is a major penalty. And once again, the ball is just placed just beyond the 15-yard line. So we'll have to see. To pass. Pass was sort of overthrown there. There we go, 1:01 remaining in this first half of play. It's basically been all West Liberty-Salem so far this evening. Another pass. Oh, just off the fingers. And that was number 2, Joey Gnoble, and just off the tippy tips of his fingers there. Great pass. Just a little more of a stretch, or just a little bit more of a pass, and there's a timeout called on the field. West Liberty-Salem leading 34-6. You know, the only thing that I do not like about Apple's MacBooks is that when you are attempting to look something up on, for instance, on Chrome, you can enter it in and it will show it, but unless you click on what looks like a pull-down menu, it doesn't go to it. That's a push. And that's an interception, but I don't think that that should have been an interception. But I guess they're going to. Okay, so there's a question. So the other umpire picked up the push, and he's saying yes, he pushed him. That gave him the unfair advantage of being able to catch that ball. So they're going to call the push. So Greeneview, the Rams will continue to retain, I'm sure, and the Tigers, so they're talking it over. We'll see. We'll see. Before we make a statement, we will see. See who gets it right, huh?
Let's go!
So they are calling pass interference on West Liberty, and that allowed them to make that. So it is marked off, and now it's on the 31-yard line with a first down for Greeneview. But they're going to have their work cut out for them because there's only 50.2 seconds. We'll see what they can do to get this ball into the end zone. Another pass. Trying to find someone. He's well covered. Finds. Great play by number 6. Number 6 makes a great play for West Liberty. Lincoln Henderson. Great knockdown, preventing that completion. Another pass. Long pass. Man is open. He makes a great catch. So I'm hearing there is a flag back on the, probably in the area of holding. Looks like it's back in the area of holding as far as where the flag was dropped. So that is going to eliminate that great pass and catch, because obviously you can't hold someone so that your player can get out there in the flat and catch it. 34 seconds remaining. West Liberty-Salem football, they're 2-0. Both teams, of course, that are playing tonight are in the Ohio Heritage Conference. West Liberty is 1 at home, 1-0, and away, 1-0. And, of course, right now they have the advantage in this game. And, of course, I said the Rams are 1-1. They are... Great defense. Time is going to run out. It's got 16 seconds on it. So the Tigers take a timeout. Are they thinking maybe they... Anyway, Greeneview, this is their home opener tonight. So both their win and loss was on the road. And just to update you on that, they lost to Waynesville 20-24. Look at their full schedule. Yeah, they opened at Northridge as far as the season away. They beat Northridge 28-14. They lost to Waynesville 24-20. And Waynesville has had some pretty nice wins this year, last year, including that opening win that we broadcast on Campus Nation, where I guess it's kind of hard to say whether it was an upset or not, but they beat Clinton Massey, and it was only by a touchdown. It was by 7 points, but still, Waynesville, they have some quality wins they did last year. So they're letting the clock run down. So we go to halftime with West Liberty-Salem's Tigers leading the Greeneview Rams 34-6. I'm sure that we'll have a band or bands on at halftime. We'll bring you that. This is campusnation.com, the Internet Sports Authority. I'm Rick Phillips with Dean Thompson on our camera tonight. And it's a nice night now for football since the sun has gone down. But before that, it was excruciatingly hot. And that's why we had the interruption. And like I said, whenever we have the equipment shut down and we lose the connection to YouTube, we either have to go back and reset it so it's back on our websites, and that is a very difficult task to do from a remote site like being here. But anyway, we will return back. We'll let you see and hear all the sounds of the band coming up next.
Please join me in welcoming the West Liberty-Salem Marching Tiger Band. The Marching Tiger Band is led out tonight by Field Commander Hannah Schiller. It is under the direction of Paul Weifel, Assistant Director Aaron Gall, Major Ed Advisors Barbie Williams and Sydney Roberts, and Color Guard Advisor Matt Trifolo.
There's so much other equipment around here that is used for the coaching that we weren't able to get access to our equipment because the router only has so many ports, and we were
In the early 70s, jazz trumpeter Bill Chase felt that rock and roll needed something more. More guitars? Nah. More cowbell? No way. How about more trumpets? The band Chase was formed with a typical rock band and added 4 trumpets to the typical rock band makeup. They dropped this hot chart in May 1971, where it spent 13 weeks on the Billboard Top 100. Here's Get It On.
So I can get the school. I can get the football school, so don't blame the Lord. Oh, good.
people call him a joker, but he could easily say abracadabra, take the money and run, and then fly like an eagle. But the Tigers feel a little like showing some jungle love tonight by featuring the auxiliary. From the Book of Dreams album, here's the Steve Miller Band's Jungle Love. Sometimes we need to challenge our musicians as well as ears with different styles of music. The Marching Tigers will close out halftime and take you into the next half of football with this face-melting tune by Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Here's Carnival 9. you all so much for coming out tonight. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's performance. And go Tigers!
Speed racer here. 34-6. The Tigers lead the Rams. We are here in Jamestown, Ohio. Rick Phillips for CampusNation.com, the Internet Sports Authority. Dean Thompson down on the camera. And this is a recorded broadcast, which we will upload tonight, and you'll be able to see the broadcast tomorrow. We had some problems with, because of overheating and other factors, there was a cut in our connection to our content delivery network, YouTube. And when that happens, you have to reset up the stream, which is a very sometimes lengthy and difficult process when you're in the studio and you are able to get everything done on a regular computer. When you're out in the field like this, it makes it extra difficult for you to be able to do that. But there are some things that we have learned from tonight's experience, since this is our first time since 2015 being at Greeneview. Most of them are positive as far as what we've learned. So that's good. You always learn from your mistakes, I guess they say. But we know at least tonight we've had more than enough bandwidth, and we've been able to receive the Wi-Fi here on this side of the field just using the guest access. So the piece of equipment that we brought, which the coaches apparently didn't like over in Greeneview's press box because they placed that piece of equipment out on the steps. That was, I think, in maybe their line of sight or their vision. Plus, they might be a little frustrated. Greeneview is not really held its own, I guess is the best way to say it. It's been all Tigers tonight, 34-6. So that comes out a lot of times, frustrations. We've been in many a press box, and we could never repeat sometimes the frustration that comes from the coaches that are in those press boxes. And I understand it's a passion, just like we have a passion for bringing these games to everyone. These coaches are passionate about building the best teams they can, and sometimes when your team doesn't perform maybe up to your expectations, it might be a little embarrassing, and that leads to frustration too. But all in all, this has been a clean game. There's not been any controversy as far as there's been no maliciousness, no flagrant fouls. It's the way football should be played at the high school level, actually any level. So we're going to bring you the second half. We've got 58 seconds and counting, and then we will reset the clock for 12 minutes. You're hearing in the background, this is the Tigers marching band on Wisconsin, a favorite of a lot of high schools, as is my high school where I graduated from in Beaver Creek. Our fight song also on Wisconsin. And our colors, orange and black, although I think the Tigers are orange and brown. They're more like the actual Browns of Cleveland or of Baltimore now, I guess you could say. All right, we're going to get this second half underway. There have been some standout plays on both sides of the ball. Tigers going to kick off to Greeneview. And the ball's kicked off. Picked up. Nice cuts. He's got it lined down the sidelines, and there is a penalty flag. I think that's probably a face mask violation. That was number 12 for Greeneview. Rhett Hickman. We'll see what it is. No, they're calling it against Greeneview, so it must have been some other personal foul. Of course, you are listening to Campus Nation, the Internet Sports Authority. Rick Phillips with Dean Thompson here on a Friday night. And my weekend is all messed up. We had opening college football last night at Hiram College in Hiram, Ohio. If anyone knows Bill Raybeck, and he has been with Campus Nation and with WZAA for years. He moved after retiring at East Clinton. He moved to Cleveland to be closer to some of his kids, and he's up there, and he set up some of these games up there. So I had the good pleasure of having a 3.5-hour drive up there to Hiram. But that's where Bill graduated from. Not much going on there. Chase Walker met basically at the line of scrimmage, picked up 0. If anything, an inch maybe. 2nd and 10. I guess I better. Now they're giving them the benefit of a pickup of a yard. 11:28 remaining in this third quarter. Play's whistled dead before it really gets started, and it's a motion penalty against the Rams. That'll result in a 5-yard penalty stepped off against them. And there's the 5 yards marked off. So once again, they will start with a second and well, we'll give them that 1 yard that they, so it'll be a 2nd and 14. Scoreboard still shows a 2nd and 9, but it isn't. There's the snap. Hand off to number 9. He does a little twirl, but he is gobbled up by the defense of the Tigers. Great tackle, a great tackle. That looked like it was number 23. And that would be Taryn Logwood. So if you are listening and you need to get anything to eat before the concession stand closes, it's going to be at the end of this quarter that it closes. 3rd and 17. Back to pass. And they've got him wrapped up. So an additional loss of yardage, which will result in a punt by the Rams. Tomorrow we will be in Defiance. It'll be the Mount Union Purple Raiders, a nationally known OAC team that wins several national championships. It's blocked against the Defiance team up there. The game will begin on Campus Nation at 1 o'clock. It is a 1:30 kickoff. So the block, the ball is still on the Rams side of the field. It's going to be, looks like spotted at about the 38-yard line. Okay, once again, 39 is what our announcer says. So 9:29 remaining. The score is, according to the scoreboard, 88-6, but it's not. It's 34-6. Our scoreboard is correct. We've had glitches on the guest score all night here, and it might be the heat since it's affected us before too. Wide open across the middle, little slant play to the 35-yard line goes number 23 for West Liberty-Salem, Taryn Logwood again. Nice catch. So the ball will be placed on the 25-yard line, and that will be a first down. Tigers are driving again, trying to add to the scoreboard points. Another pass. Oh, almost picked off. Almost picked off. And it looked like that was, I can't tell whether that was Doherty or whether that was Walker. But good play and results in a knockdown and almost an interception. 2nd and 10 from that 25-yard line. Nice run, good cut. Around the corner, he's got the edge. Number 21 is almost into the end zone. Just barely. So Gabe McGill, nice pickup. Takes it down to about the 1 yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal. Let's get the update on the time. I keep watching the plays, trying to pick up the runners and that. And I end up ball is in. That's 40-6. So we're going to try the extra point. Gideon Cole here to attempt, and it looks good. So last time he failed, this time he picked it up. It's 41-6 now. A nice lead by the Tigers. Tonight I'm seeing some players along the sidelines. Looks like they're stretching them out. Probably some cramping going on. This was a very humid evening, and we even had our overheating here in the press box since we are on the west side, or looking west and facing the sun, and the sun was intense earlier this evening. So Upchurch is back. He's going to be receiving for the Rams. Kick is off. Upchurch has the ball. Finds a crease. He's up the center, and he makes it, looks like almost shy of the 35-yard line. So Jacob Evans, number 10 for the Tigers, makes the tackle. Just shy of the 35, so it's on the 34-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 34. This week, I think we've got some Greeneview volleyball. And we'll cross our fingers. We have a new person that will be working with me to do these volleyball broadcasts. Joe Davis is unavailable because he teaches and he also referees for volleyball. But he did a good job that Greeneview Miami Trace volleyball match that we had earlier in the season. This match will be taking place here at Greeneview from the gym. Nice facility too, very similar as far as the setup to breakaway. Great run, number 5, Alex Horney. He's been pretty much the legs for this Greeneview Rams team tonight.
Reed Silver for the Tigers, first and 10 for the Rams. On the Tiger 42-yard line.
Go. Let's go, defense! Hit 'em.
Number 21, Carter Newman on the run for the Rams. Tackled by number
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to turn. Okay. 519. Let me see if I can set this
Second
now.
and 7 for the Rams at the Tiger 39.
D-E-F-E-N-S-E defense. D-E-F-E-N-S-E defense. D-E-F-E-N-S-E defense. D-E-F-E-N-S-E defense.
Not much there. Looks like the Tigers had it sniffed out this time.
Jet Daniels for the Rams. Third and 12 for the Rams on
Go, defense!
the 44-yard line.
.410 remaining in this quarter, third quarter. Ball snapped. Good little juke there by Alex Horney there. He's been probably most of the offense tonight for the Rams as far as running and throwing and Rams on the move. That looks like a 4th and about 3 or 4. And I think they're going to get this one. And they do. Oh, no. Nope, there's a penalty flag on the play. And it was a 4th and 7. And so they are not going to get the first down unless by some chance this penalty is against the Tigers. Umpires are talking it over. It is against the Tigers. So now they're deciding what the penalty is and what the yardage is going to be marked off. And looks like a face mask. Is that it? It's so easy to grab that face mask. And that's what it was. It was a face mask. And so that's going to advance it. That will take it.
First and 10 for the Rams at the Tiger 17.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 17-yard line of the Tigers. I thought they'd stop the clock, but apparently they hadn't. Well, they're indicating to wind the clock, but the clock has been running. A wide open player in the end zone. That was Horney to like number 6. I believe that was Eli Walker that snatched that pass. But great connection, Horney to Walker. And that adds 6 more for the Rams. So right now it's 41-13.
Number 2,
41 to 12.
attempt the extra point.
41 to 12. 13 as if they make this. Kick is up, and it's through. So, back up. 41 to 13 is your current score here in the third with, well, they finally stopped it.
Back to the store, we have your Greeneview Rams 13, West Liberty-Salem 41.
Yep, it's been all Tigers tonight. And I'm not sure exactly what the anticipation was for Greeneview this year. I don't know how many players they lost. They had a good team last year. They went into the playoffs. But this year, thus far, they are 1-1. And if something doesn't change dramatically in this next 1:25 and fourth quarter, they're going to be 1-2. So need to figure out what we can put on the field to pull off some scoring here, because this Tiger defense has been fairly good, and there have been some errors on the part of the Rams as far as turnovers and that have resulted in scores by the Tigers. Once again tomorrow we will be in Defiance for the Mount Union Purple Raiders. And Defiance will be our next trip, which is about, I think, a little over 2 hours from Jeffersonville, where we'll be traveling from. The kick is off, snatched from the ground, and not much advancement.
Kickoff returned by number 10, Jacob Evans for the Tigers.
So Evans of the Tigers was involved in the return. The ball's going to be spotted just over the
1st and 10 for the Tigers. At their own
35, 36 yard line. 1st and 10 from the 36. And the guest score is still blinking. I don't know what that indicates, but 1:19 remaining in this third quarter. Nice run. Close to a first down, maybe a yard shy. We've got a Greeneview player still on the turf. He gets up. He's favoring a leg. He's doing a little bit of limping. But it's hard to get these players off the field because they do not want to leave the field when they're. So the clock is still ticking away. Tigers will attempt to get off maybe one more play before the time runs out. It is a first down.
number 9, Nick run for the Tigers.
So we have a timeout.
Number 52, Mike Midland for the Rams. First and 10 on the Tiger 47-yard line.
29 seconds remaining in this third quarter play. So a timeout has been called. Probably by the Tigers. They're trying to run one more play before the end of the quarter. And it's hard to tell why you would call a timeout unless it's just to get everybody refreshed, get them hydrated so that they don't cramp up, simply because they're just going to switch sides to the field, and we don't have a wind situation or a sun in your eyes type of situation here this evening. So other than just maybe to talk some things over with the team and get some Gatorade or whatever it is they drink now, get that in them so that they can stay hydrated. That's the important thing. And once again, because of the break in the action as far as the overheating of the equipment and that earlier, this is a recorded broadcast which we will upload probably tomorrow morning. And we might still upload it tonight. It'll just depend, because I think I will have to edit 2 segments together. But anyway, we'll get it up on the board for people to be able to go back and to look at, for those people that obviously could not see the live stream, because there were problems with that live stream. So the seconds clicking away here in the third quarter. They're actually running the clock in the timeout. In fact, the score 41-13 would indicate that there should be a running clock anyway. If you're up by 30, the clock continues to run, except for usually injuries, and I thought it was timeouts, but they were running the clock anyway during that. So we'll see whether in this fourth quarter they run the clock no matter what. So it's going to be a 1st and 10 on the 47-yard line. This time we're going the opposite direction, but it is the fourth quarter. And
Number 30, Damon Stidham on the run for the Tigers.
Stidham for the Tigers, number 30.
72, Gavin Henry, and number 3.
Yes, and the clock is running, so I would assume that they are well aware of the fact that the clock will run unless there's some major problem. Ball is fumbled, sort of picked up midair. Number 18, number 10. Number 10 is the fumbler. And I'm trying to see who picked the ball up. So number 74 for the Rams picked that ball up. And make sure I get it. Hunter Lake. He is a sophomore. Good play. And they have actually stopped the clock, which I don't understand why. Again, the clock is stopped. 11:05 in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 10. And Rams would love to be able to put this in the end zone. I don't know whether there was a penalty, because it looks like there was a big 15 yards marked off against the Tigers. And off to number 21. That's Carter Newman for the Rams with that run.
2nd down and 8 for the
2nd and 8.
At the Tiger 29-yard line.
And we will make sure our next trip here into Jamestown will have a full crew and hopefully be able to get multiple cameras, as we normally do. Stidham makes the tackle there. It's going to be 3rd and 9, it looks like. 31-yard line. Actually looks closer to 10 to me, but it's a half a yard. Nice pass across the middle. So once again, number 82 making that catch, but we don't have him listed on our, unless that was 83, and that would be Campbell Newman. Well, probably Campbell Newman that made that catch. I thought the announcer had said 82. So the Rams are going to take a timeout. With 9:02 remaining in this last quarter play, last half of the last half. A lot of people getting up, stretching. Believe me, after 3.5 hours up to Hiram last night and then 3.5 hours coming back, and it's strange because, you know, I usually just go by my GPS. GPS, when I went up earlier in the day, took me on the Ohio Turnpike for about 40 miles, and I was amazed at the cost. For 40 miles on the Ohio Turnpike, it was a whole $1.75. And that kind of shocked me because typically that's not the way most turnpikes are. It can cost you $5, $10, $15 for just that little mileage. Of course, the Ohio Turnpike has been around for a while, and so it's more maintenance than it is actually
Turnover on downs.
So they did not get the first down, so it's a turnover on downs to the Tigers. Yeah, Ohio Turnpike, $1.75. And I'm certain that it was 40 miles that I traveled on the Turnpike. So coming back, though, they didn't direct me back to the Turnpike. I went through actually Akron. So I don't know exactly what the reason for that was, but it was a fur piece any way you look at it. There is a flag on the play. A lot of this is probably occurring simply because the guys are getting tired. It's a lot easier to try to grab on something, and if it's a face mask or no, they're picking it up. So they're not going to call a penalty. Flag was picked up. So once again, it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. in the final moments, the last 8:33 and counting of the fourth quarter here, 41-13. Tigers have a commanding lead.
Timeout Tigers.
So the Tigers take a timeout. The clock does stop with 8:28 remaining in this fourth quarter. See if I can pull up some scores. I'll get here to. So Waynesville is leading Blanchester 34-14 in the fourth quarter. Clinton Massey having a little bit tougher time with Tri-Valley. They're leading 24-14. That is also in the fourth quarter. Mount Healthy is leading Wilmington in the third quarter 14-7. Of course, Wilmington coming into that 2-0, and Mount Healthy with the lead right now. Turnover. Logan Elm is leading Miami Trace by commanding 35-12 once again in the third quarter. Some of these games may have started at 8 rather than 7, and the reason sometimes they push it back is this intense heat. It's a safety factor more than anything. Cedarville, they're leading Fairbanks 7-6 in the fourth quarter. Cedarville currently undefeated. They're 2-0, so this could take them to 3-0. Paint Valley leading McLean 21-15 in the fourth quarter. The Blue Line of Washington leading Marion Franklin 21-6. East Clinton all over Fayetteville 62-12. And my Beavers, this is surprising, they're leading Thurgood Marshall 18-8. Beaver Creek has not really had the football teams in the last many years. When I was in high school, I think the entire 4 years of my high school, we had 2 losses, maybe 3 in four seasons, because we were 10-0 in one season. But they. Those were the days of the old WOL, the Western Ohio League, which had Springfield North. There was a Springfield South, but Springfield North was in the WOL. Springfield South, I'm not sure what league they were in. And of course, many of the older teams like Fairborn and Beaver Creek and Centerville and Beaver Creek's excelled more in things like soccer. Almost picked off. Number 25 was in there right when the pass arrived. Number 25 for West Liberty-Salem. That is Reese Oder. Oh, he almost had him. Long pass, he's open in the end zone. Great breakup. Who did that? Number So Lincoln Henderson with an incredible play in the end zone to break up that almost, definite touchdown. It was a great pass, but better defense. Looks like we've got another timeout. And a lot of the time what we're seeing here, they're not just trying to delay the game. Everybody's tired. They're particularly tired because the sun was intense when we started the game, and they started at the regular time of 7 o'clock. We're normally on the air half an hour early, but once again, we do that for pregame and passing on information about records and members of the team and everything else. But when you're a one-man show, or at least a two-man show with Dean, it's kind of hard to do everything else you have to do to get set up and then do a 30-minute pregame. But check the Campus Nation website out for that Greeneview girls volleyball match this week. I think it occurs on Thursday. We've got a new broadcast crew member. I'm hoping that she'll be there for that match. Not much of a pickup.
26, J.J. Johnson.
In fact, it was a loss of 4 yards, 3 yards at least. So it's going to be a 2nd and 13 for the Tigers, and they are on, looks like, the 23-yard line. Ball's handed off. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. Well, he made it back to the original line of scrimmage. He did not make it back to. So it's going to be a 3rd and 14, something like that. And it looks like it's from the 24-yard line. But, of course, the Tigers are going to, I think, keep this on the ground. They have no reason to air anything out. They've got a commanding lead of 41-13, and they're going to go to 3-0, and Greeneview will drop to 1-2 with their first home loss. And West Liberty, I think they're 1 win at home and 2 wins on the road. So Greeneview was indicating they recovered the football, and they are signaling they did. So there is a change of possession. Guess the ball was coughed up when it was on the ground. So Pierce for the Rams recovered it, number 22. And so short field for Greeneview. They've got 5-11, plenty of time for them to punch this into the end zone. And if it did nothing more than give them a little something to look forward to for the next game, they could end on a high note rather than, let's see if they can get this into the end zone. Well, tried to run it up the middle, but there was nothing there. Tigers had him sniffed out. Now there's a penalty flag, probably unsportsmanlike contact. So it's a personal foul against the Tigers. One of those fouls where you just won't let the player go. You held them longer than you have to hold them because the play had already been whistled, and that usually immediately draws a flag. In this case, it did. Rick Phillips here, Dean Thompson on our camera. He's been bringing us some pretty decent pictures. I know this is new, at least this type of a camera, that he hasn't worked this for a couple years. So we had a lot of news tonight. I usually will operate the camera a lot, but I didn't have play-by-play in color in the booth to handle that so that I could work the camera and do the switching. So I basically had to sit up here and, to the best of my ability, call the game with help from the press box there on the other side. They're letting the clock run. Just under 4 minutes, just about. Let me get this clock down here. And
Number 12, Ray Hickman in for a Ram touchdown.
so that was a touchdown. Great. I don't think anybody wants to hit anyone for the rest of the game here. So it's 41 to 19. We're going to wait for the point after. I don't think they're going for two, but it's possible. It's time to practice if you want to practice a two-pointer. Now, we've got some signaling on the field, so I'm trying to figure out what they're saying here. They're moving it over to the other hash, it looks like, other side of the field. And this is looking like a two-point attempt here by the Rams. So we'll see if they are successful. Pass out in flat, and he's stopped.
Number 11, Cameron Ashley's pass, and number 7.
So the extra point, the extra 2 points does not occur. So it's 41 to 19, the Tigers over the Rams. With 4:02 remaining, and I don't know, I don't really care about getting clarification, but I don't understand with the lead. Well, there isn't a 30-point lead now, so it wouldn't be a running clock anyway. There has to be a 30-point lead, then has to be in the second half before the clock runs. So even figuring they had 16, because they scored 6, 16 and 30 would be 46. So that's why the clock has never ran, because there hasn't been a 30-point lead yet. Well, we just came to that conclusion almost at the end of the game. I'm so used to doing Massey football for the last 4 years that we always had a running clock, at least in the second half. It was just sort of a no-brainer with Clinton Massey. All right, Rams getting ready to kick off after scoring that touchdown. Very short. Looks like it's at the 33-yard line where the Tigers will resume play with still 4:02 remaining in this ball game. Starting to cool off a little. It really is very comfortable now. Earlier when we started the game, intense heat, very difficult. And that's the reason that this will be a recorded broadcast that we upload, is simply because the sun, and where we had the iPad in the window, not thinking about it, the sun and the back of the iPad is in a holder so that it can be set upright, and that holder is dark, so it absorbs the sun, and that probably didn't help contribute. Probably should have a little fan or something we can plug in, and that way. But we won't have to worry about that much longer because we're getting into fall. Hand off and up the middle for the Tigers. J.J. Johnson with the handoff. We have an injury on the field. So there is a timeout. And that for sure would stop the clock, no matter what. Always stops for an injury. But we're not talking a running clock anyway. So they're attending the injured player. Once again, not sure whether it's cramp. I can't tell whether they're working on a leg or not. That doesn't always indicate cramping, but once again, when you have the kind of weather that we've had during this game, that is often the case. And if you've ever had a leg cramp, you know how intense some of those cramps can be. So it's almost difficult to even think about walking. So the Tigers still in the field, and I'm trying to think, or trying to see if they're, looks like the trainer is simply talking with him. So she's probably asking him a few questions. I don't think it has anything to do with concussed. He is getting up. It's number 57 that was involved in that, and he is favoring a leg. 57 or 52. Number 57 is what it looks like. Julius Butler has that injury. It looks like an injury to the leg. And so he's brought over to the sideline. They're going to work. And once again, it could be a cramp because the way she's working on that right leg would indicate to me that that's probably what it was. We've got a breakaway run here. Great pickup, great pickup. Down to the Rams' 40-41 yard line. So the question, the only question will be, with the ball on the 41 yard line, whether they will attempt to get it into the end zone again. The clock is running, so I don't think anyone is anxious to play any more football tonight. They'd like to. Another nice pickup. Pickup of about 5, it looks like, maybe 6. Yep, 6 yards, going to be a 2nd and 4. The clock continues to run. 2:33 remaining in this ball game. Once again, a shout out to Mike Reinhardt, the athletic director here at Greeneview. Been very helpful all through this workup, trying to do these football games and the volleyball, girls volleyball matches. Some scrambling and a loss of yards. Going to go back probably to almost the original line of scrimmage.
26, J.J. Johnson.
Looks like he was tackled at the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 3rd and what appears to be maybe 7 or 8. And the clock continues to run. Check the Campus Nation website out this week. We will have the posting on that Greeneview Rams girls volleyball match this Thursday. And this one is almost in the books. Oh, it's going to be 4th and looks like about 8, maybe 7, 4th and 7. If it's 4th and 8, it's a long 7.
7 for the Tigers.
And the clock is winding down, as you can see on our scoreboard, as well as the scoreboard here from Jamestown. Probably the last play of the game here. And it'll be a running play, a quarterback keeper. And he picks up, maybe a yard.
26, J.K. Johnson on the Tigers.
They have stopped the clock. Don't know why. Up to 16.7 seconds. This will certainly be the last snap here. Probably take a knee, in fact. Nope, he's back off the line. And Greeneview at least retains the ball last. That was a changeover according to Downs. All right, from Jamestown, Greeneview on the short end of the stick tonight, as they say. The Tigers of West Liberty-Salem, 41, and Greeneview Rams, 19. The teams meet with the usual handshakes at center at the 50-yard line. This has been Rick Phillips for Campus Nation, along with Dean Thompson. We'll have this recorded broadcast uploaded as soon as we can do any editing that is necessary and getting it uploaded to our CDN probably tomorrow. And then don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be in Defiance for the Mount Union Purple Raiders. They're going to come in to see what they can do to add to their national notoriety, one of the best Division III college football teams in the nation. So we bid you adieu tonight. Good night from Jamestown, Ohio.